Bosnia is perhaps one of the most beautiful places I have ever seen. It is home to majestic mountains, incredible valleys, and places surrounded by vast amounts of water and natural resources. Places that will blow your mind away and make you appreciate the beauty of this country. But behind such beautiful places lies a hard and inconvenient truth. The fact that Bosnia has not been able to address the difficult issues that come from its war, from the violence, and from the dividing rhetoric that has marked its development. Everywhere you go, you are reminded of the war, of its legacies, of what it means to different ethnic groups and what it means to its people. Economic development has not fully begun to give its fruits, and politics are still as divisory and nationalistic as it was during the war. This is a constant problem that I have devoted my PhD to. Not only is there a resistance to politics, but also to international intervention, and particularly the way the constitution after the war brought ethnic divisions as the basic structures of the country, dividing it into a Bosnia-Croat Federation and a Serb Republic called Republika Srpska. My research seeks to look at the division between the process of rebuilding the state, of creating a process of transitional justice that deals with the violent atrocities committed during the war, and the process of reconciliation, organized by non-governmental organizations and citizen type of organizations that seek to foster integration and cooperation between the different ethnic groups in the country, trying to promote a process of building trust at social, political, and even economic levels. But the disconnect between state building and reconciliation practices has created further divisions in some areas of the country. The prosecution of war criminals has not really met victims' needs for restitution, for truth-seeking, or for finding some sort of healing from the trauma that they experienced. Also, practices of remembrance and memorialization are generally reinterpreted along ethnic lines, creating discourses of victimization where each ethnic group only sees the war as an attack on its own collectivity, on its own ethnic people, which reinforces the idea that Bosnia has always been, is, and always will be a divided country, something that creates a great barrier for reconciling, for cooperating, and for imagining a possible future between different ethnic groups. My research seeks to point out what are the connections and misconnections from all these different practices. Where connections are identified, a more legitimate space for state and peace building can be recognized in the country. But more importantly, and perhaps with more concern, those places of disconnection mean that these are fragile and complex areas that policies for social reconstruction, peace building, and reconciliation need to focus on. The 7-month fieldwork process for my PhD entailed interviews with international officials, NGO representatives, and citizens on the street regarding what they identified as advancements, challenges, and future concerns regarding the reconstruction process of Bosnia. I was also able to work for several organizations to have a feel and a personal reflection on what doing reconciliation in Bosnia actually means.